السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. So welcome to the 5th class of Arabic. Moving on to lesson 4. Let's get straight to it. So let's read the vocabulary. Top, right to left. Imra'a. And when you put an al on this word, it changes. So you do not say al-imra'a. You say al-mar'atu. Al-mar'atu. So instead of al-imra'atu, it becomes al-mar'atu. Imra'a, imra'atun, al-mar'atu. It's just one of those exceptional words. It means woman. Right? And I'm sure Ahmad there is probably saying, well, of course, it's a woman, so it's an exception. He's actually, you should join us for our debate tomorrow, inshallah. Number 2, bint. Bint means girl or daughter. Two meanings. It can mean girl or it can mean daughter. So it has two different meanings, keep that in mind. Medina, it's a city. And that little F just means it's feminine. Right? Sama, sky, or it can mean heaven. And let me clarify. So sky basically means the skies in planet Earth, you know? Or heaven is this, it's kind of an old English term for, it can mean the heavenly bodies, it can mean the planets, it can mean outer space, it can mean any of these things. Basically, the word sama means anything that's above us as human beings. That's the way Arabs have always used it. So whenever they look up, they say that's sama. Doesn't matter what it is. So it could be sky, it could be the Earth's ozone layer, it can be outer space, it can be another planet. Anything that's up is sama. Anything that's below that you're standing on is known as ard. If you're standing on grass, it's still called ard. It's called the earth or the ground. I will get to that word. Now we have shams, which is the sun. And keep in mind the word sama can be masculine or feminine. So it's come actually in both forms. So we'll see that more. Ard is earth or it can mean ground. So earth meaning it can mean planet Earth. When you say al-ard, it means the earth, meaning the planet Earth. Is it like, the planet. Ard also means the ground, or it can mean the earth in the old English connotation of earth is like what the substance that you're standing on. It can mean dirt. It can mean sand. All of these things are considered earth, like fertilizer or soil or something like that. So ard means ground, or it can mean earth. Even if you're sitting on the ground, you say you're sitting on the ard. Right, so it has two meanings. Keep that in mind. Next word is jannah. Means garden, and when it's definite with the al, it means paradise. So if you say al jannatu, it can mean the garden, or it can also mean paradise. Right? Where we would like to go, inshallah. Now is fire, which is feminine as well. Ayah, you repeat with me. Ayah, ayah is a sign, or it can be a verse of the Quran. It's also known as an ayah. Ad-dunya. So notice there's no shadda there, right? Why is there no shadda on the dal? Anybody? Because alif lam what? Shamsi. But there's no shadda. You see a shadda there? Yeah. So what does that mean? So why is there no shadda? Right. It's one of those words that change al, change to ad-dunya. But why is there no shadda written there? Because you're supposed to know it. Thank you, Ali. Because you're supposed to know it. So I'm assuming that you got it down. So if you read al-dunya, you should know that there's a shadda there. And you say, well, why didn't you write the shadda? Because you're supposed to know it by now. Right? We're on lesson 4 already. So ad-dunya means the world or this worldly life that we're living in. Right? Qarya. Let's say it together. Qarya. Village. Jahannamu. It's hellfire. Alright, so notice it's with the u. So it's a proper noun. Jahannamu, and you're always going to use u. Don't put a tanween on it. Is mother. Right? So that's with the shadda. So don't forget. So if it's with if you wanted to say a mother, it would be ummun with the shadda. And if you wanted to say the mother, al-ummu. Right? Now, why is mother capitalized? You see, notice the M, capitalization, whereas the other words are lowercase. Oh, it's not capitalized on the print? There you go. That's good, because that's a typo. So you should be able to identify true mistakes from accidental mistakes. And this is part of your critical thinking abilities in this class. All right, abun. Abun is father. All right, so mother and father. Other words we're going to learn proper nouns. Maryamu, Maryam or Mary. Khadijatu, Khadija. All right. Makkatu, Makkah. Fatimatu, Fatima. Right? So if you get asked these words on the vocabulary of the final exam, I really expect you to be able to get these meanings down. But don't worry, there's no way I'm going to ask you these words, because it's pretty easy to figure out these words. So you should know what they are. There's no need to really memorize them or focus on them. So you got some words from your vocabulary list already memorized. Other words, fi means in. Ala, on or on top of. What's the last letter in ala? Can somebody spell the word ala for me? Ain. Yeah, no vowels, just the letters. Ain, lam, and a ya, a alif maqsura. That's not a ya, it's alif maqsura. Min, from. Min. Right. Hiya means she or it. Hadhihi, this. Right? Feminine version of it. And tilka is that, feminine version of the word that. What was the masculine word for that? Zalika. What about for this? Hadha. Exactly. All right, good. So now we're going to learn the feminine noun today. So nouns in Arabic, they're either masculine or they're feminine. There is no neuter in Arabic, which means there's no it. Everything is masculine or feminine. It has to be one of the two. All right, so let's leave the question. So just leave, so just keep this in your mind. Everything has to be masculine or feminine. All right. Words may also be feminine by form. Right? So let me see if I have something here. Yeah. So look, natural gender, things which are naturally masculine in Arabic are going to be masculine in their writing as well. So the word for man is rajul, right? Is that masculine or feminine? It's going to be it's going to be masculine in the Arabic language, right? And woman is going to be feminine. Right? So when it comes to people, things which are naturally masculine or naturally feminine, they're always going to be that way in form. But when it comes to inanimate objects, like for example, book, the word book is masculine. The word city is feminine. The question is why? Because there's nothing intrinsic built into that. Now, obviously, in today's moral relativity, there's confusion even among people in terms of what they are, but in terms of the Arabic language, things which are intrinsically known to be masculine are masculine, intrinsically feminine are feminine. But inanimate objects or concepts or ideas, they can be either masculine or feminine. They have to be one of them. You have to figure out which one is which. So that's what it comes to. Words can be feminine by form, actually. So most singular nouns that end with a ta marbuta, most, not all, but most singular nouns that end with a ta marbuta, they are also feminine, and they're known as feminine by form. So if you look back at our vocabulary list real quick, what words did you see end in ta marbuta? Medina. So Medina is feminine because it's a singular noun and it has a ta marbuta at the end. So that's one of the reasons why it's there. What's another word that ends in ta marbuta here? Jannah. What's another one? Ayah and Qarya. So we got 4 right here. They're all singular, they end in ta marbuta, and they're nouns, and that's why that's the sign of femininity in these nouns. They're all feminine. You notice the word qarya doesn't have a F sign next to it. You notice that? Is it in your notes? It doesn't have an F, right? So why is that? No, actually that's a typo. So that should have a feminine, so just write it in your notes, inshallah ta'ala, to clarify to yourself. Okay? So all of those four are feminine. And why are they feminine? Because they're singular nouns that have ta marbuta, and it's almost always the case. Not always, but almost always. And you say, well, what are some of the exceptions to the rule? There's so few exceptions in Arabic to the rule. But to give you one of them, the most interesting one is khalifa. So khalifa obviously does not refer to a female, yet it has a ta marbuta at the end. The second type of feminine is feminine by convention. Words which are feminine by convention means that the Arabs, when they were using their language, they simply used that word as being feminine, so it became feminine. So the word, for example, like the sun. The sun is feminine in Arabic, and the moon is masculine. So why did they have that reason? You know, you could write, a PhD thesis on that to try and figure out why, but you'll never really know 100% why. But when you're learning Arabic, you just need to learn it that way. You just need to get it down, and that's the way that it should be. Okay?
Is Khalifa a proper noun?
Khalifa is, no, it's not really considered a proper noun. I guess there might be a debate amongst grammarians, but it's used like a regular noun, not a proper noun. So its function is actually like a regular noun. So some words can be either masculine or feminine in Arabic. So like we saw, one of them was sama. There's very few of them actually, but some of them can be. So let's take a look at some examples here. Let me just see if anything is missing here. Okay, so here's some examples. Reading from top right, left. So bint and right? Bint means girl or daughter. Means mother. All right. So why are these feminine? Because natural gender, right? A daughter is going to be, feminine, and a mother is going to be feminine by nature, right? Unless you're, in Northern California or something like that. So that's generally the way it's going to be. So that's the reason why it's feminine. The other words, Medina and Qarya, means city. Qarya does not mean word, so that's a typo. So Qarya means village, right? Village. So Medina, city, and Qarya, village. These words are feminine because they're feminine by form, because they have a ta marbuta at the end, right? Ta here, singular nouns, therefore they're feminine for that reason. So you can pretty much guess with more than 90% certainty, whenever you see a noun like this which has a ta at the end, it's going to be feminine. You can always double check a dictionary in case you wanted to check, but usually it's going to be feminine. Then there are some words which are feminine by convention, like the word shams, which means sun. The word also earth, is also feminine by convention, meaning that's the way it was used in the Arabic language. So these words, there's not that many of them. You just have to memorize them that way. So when you're memorizing qamar, you don't even need to worry about, it's masculine. Just memorize the exceptions. So memorize shams is feminine, memorize ard is feminine, and everything else, kitab and bab and masjid and all of that, they're all masculine. So the default of inanimate objects is masculine, but there's some exceptions which are feminine. One of them has a ta marbuta, that's one category. Another category is if it's just one of those conventional words. And then words like sama'un, or words like tariqun, for example, they can be both masculine or feminine. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think in classical Arabic, the feminine is more common for these words. But I'm not 100% sure on that. So these are some of the words, okay, that are feminine. So keeping that in mind, how do we use these feminine words? So what do we do with them? What adjustments do we make? Well, let's learn the feminine pronoun. Right? So we learned two types of pronouns, right? Does anyone remember what types of pronouns we learned? You don't need to know this for your final or something, but no. What the grammatical terms for these two types? Hiya is what type of pronoun? Or huwa is what type of pronoun? It's a It's third person, but it's detached. Thank you. It's a detached pronoun. And we learned another type of pronoun, which was not. We didn't learn attached. No, we didn't. So this is a detached personal pronoun. Then we learn another type of pronoun, what's known as a demonstrative pronoun. What is a demonstrative pronoun? An example of it? Yeah, هذا, ذلك, right? These are demonstrative pronouns. All right, known as ismul ishara. So let's take a look at these two pronouns that we've learned so far and see the feminine form of it. So the feminine third person detached personal pronoun, which we call she or it, functions exactly like the masculine counterpart, huwa. So how does it work? The subject and predicate must agree in gender. So let's look at the example. So we would normally use huwa for if we want to make a sentence. If you want to say she is Maryam, you cannot say huwa Maryamu. You have to say hiya Maryamu. So now you use the feminine pronoun, but you cannot say hiya Muhammadun or hiya Musa. You have to use huwa. So use huwa with masculine, use hiya with feminine, and this makes a complete sentence, and this is a equational sentence. All right. So you just got to be careful. So in case you accidentally you're saying something and you say huwa Maryamu, it's a mistake. You have to say hiya Maryamu. If you say hiya Muhammadun, it's a mistake. You have to make sure that's corrected and changed. That's one way. It also applies, remember, you have to look at the word. If you look at the word nar is feminine. It's one of those exceptional words. So you cannot say huwa narun. You cannot say hadha narun. You have to say hiya narun or hadhihi narun. It's very important. So it's oftentimes you will find sometimes beginners making a mistake because you're so used to pointing at something by saying hadha, you say this, and then you want to say fire, and you say hadha nar. It's not hadha nar, it's hadhihi nar, because the word nar itself is feminine. So you need to make sure that you're adjusting for that feminine word. You have to give it its respect, right? So we don't have any of those, going out of gender movements in the Arabic language yet, at least yet. All right, so the next example is هذه مدينة. So if you say هذا مدينة, it's wrong. هذه مدينة. If you say هذه كتاب, it's wrong, because kitab is masculine. So you have to use the هذا with masculine and هذه with feminine. So هذه مدينة. City? Madinatun. Hadhihi means this. Madinatun means a city. A city. So the is comes automatically in between, remember? The sentence, equational sentence. And then we have Tilka Fatimatu. That is Fatima. Okay? Any questions on this? Yes? No. Meaning the word sama, meaning the word sama can be used both. So you can say hadha sama'un, or you can say hadhihi sama'un, and both of them are correct. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we move on? Yeah? Yes. Okay. So guess what slide is next? Exercises, right? There we go. So let's get to it. Identify the incorrect predicates. Okay, the khabar. Identify the second word, remember? Identify what's incorrect and rewrite these sentences with the correct gender, making sure to indicate all of the vowels and signs, and then write down the translation of the correct ones as well. Right? So you figure out actually that's the wrong question. It should be identify the incorrect subjects to the predicates. So, but you get the point. So take number one, right? Something is wrong with that sentence. Fix it. Right? And don't fix it by changing Khadija to make him, Khadij or something like that. Right? Change the pronoun. You only need to do like the first 4. Who needs more time for the first 4? Okay. Give you another minute or so. Okay, let's see what you got. Number 1. What did we change it to? Huwa changed to hiya. So it should be hiya Khadijatun tu. Exactly. Hiya Khadijatu. Be careful not to put Khadijatun. Okay? Hiya Khadijatu. Number 2. Huwa babu bun. Huwa babun. Oh, what did number 1 mean? Hiya Khadijatu. She is Khadija. Number 2, huwa babun. He is a door. It is a door. It is a door. Good. Number 3, change to hadhihi. So hadhihi imra'atun. She is a woman. Now, how do we read that in one breath? You see, there's a wasla there. So when you say, you don't say hadhihi imra'atun, because you don't need to take a break unless you run out of breath that quickly. You say hadhihim ra'atun. You skip the alif. Hadhihim ra'atun. Written the same way, but your pronunciation would be hadhihim ra'atun. Yeah. Straight to the meme with the sukoon. Hadhihim ra'atun. Right? Number 4, ahuwa ma'un. It should be ahiya ma'un. It's correct. Ahuwa ma'un. What does it mean? Is it water? Right? Is it water? Can you say, is he water? But if you're referring to Aquaman. Okay. All right, let's leave that. All right, so huwa ma'un, is it water? Good. We got this down. Let's move on. The feminine adjective. So now we need to learn how to make an adjective feminine. Many adjectives in Arabic can actually be made feminine by suffixing a ta marbuta at the end. So we notice that the ta marbuta is the sign for femininity in many nouns, right? So if you take an adjective, you just put a ta marbuta at the end, and you got a feminine adjective now. So remember this rule from the first day of class, that ta marbuta always has a fatha preceding it. You will never see any other vowel preceding a ta marbuta. And you thought that you could forget that after the first day of class, but you can't, because you need to know it. All right, so very simple. Take the word kabir. Right? Let's say kabirun, right? We've been using. You take kabir, you add a ta marbuta. So what comes before a ta marbuta always? Can you have a tanween? No. You have to have a fatha. So what you do, you get rid of this tanween, replace it with a fatha, and you got your ta. So you get kabiratun, which means it's the feminine form of the word kabirun. So kabirun, feminine form, kabiratun. If you had al-kabiru, same thing. You add a ta, right? You change this to a fatha, because the ta marbuta always has to have a fatha before it, not a dhamma. And you get al-kabiratu. So the masculine form of kabirun is kabiratun. The feminine form of kabirun is kabiratun. The feminine form of al-kabiru is al-kabiratu. What do you think the feminine form of saghirun is? Saghiratun. What is the feminine form of as-saghiru? As-saghiratu. What about ba'idun? Ba'idatun. What about al-ba'idu? Al-ba'idatu. What about al-qaribu? Al-qaribatu. That's it. Very simple little rule that you can see if you understand it properly by putting it into practice. Oh no? What are the exercises? Oh, okay. So we get to look at it a little bit more first. All right. So when forming an attributive adjective, okay, something else you need to know. Wait, did I? Oh yeah. Okay. So two rules before we do exercises. When you're forming an attributive adjective, both the gender and the state must agree. So you know what? Who, You know what? I'm going to come back to this rule to make your life easier and let you start doing the work right now. So 4.2, correct the following sentences by changing the predicate to the feminine form, making sure to write down all the vowels, all the signs, and then translate it into English.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Is that your phone? They pulled it out. What? No, only you, me, and Dad are confirmed so far. You know how your brother and his family is. I made reservation for 8 people. ये क्या है?
Everyone is listening to you.
Turn it off. Turn off here.
Yes. I don't know the guest password. If you email the CIS, they'll get it for you by tomorrow. Sure.
How are you?
We installed the program, by the way.
What's that?
We installed the program. Was it Control 1 Zoom program you were telling me about?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Control 1?
Yeah. Did you download it?
We did. Was it Shift?
I think it's just control.
Control
I don't know.
more. We might download it. It's not Zoom. We'll try
I
it.
was gonna ask you. So, try to download today's stuff at work, and I work for Pelican.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ويل للمطففين الذين إذا افتالوا على الناس يستوفون وإذا كالوهم أو وزنوهم يخسرون ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون ليوم عظيم يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ويل لكل همزة لمزة الذي جمع ماله وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنها عليهم مؤصدة في عمد ممددة. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر
All right. Bismillah. Let's take a look at what we have. Number one, al-mar'atu kabirun. Is that correct? Yeah. It should be al-mar'atu kabiratun, which means the woman is big or old. It could be both, but we go with old, right? Out of respect for the woman. All right, so the woman is old. Number two, al-jannatu tawilun. Correct? Al-jannatu tawilatun. Paradise is long, or it could mean the garden is long also. Number three, al-bintu qasirun. Is that correct? Al-bintu qasiratun. The girl is short, or the daughter is short. Number four, al-madinatu should be, the next word should be jadidatun. The city is new. Number five, al-ayatu should be saghiratu. Al-ayatu saghiratun. Indefinite, because the predicate. Al-ayatu saghiratun. The sign is small. It's a very, very common mistake, to put saghiratu, right? Or jadidu or jadidatu. Remember that the adjective that's a predicate will have tanween, because the predicate is usually going to be indefinite. So go back, check your chapter 1 rules. Very, very important to remember that. Very, very common mistake for beginners. All right, so we got that. These 5 are looking good. Let's try the next 5 in English. Translate into Arabic. Make sure to write all the vowels and the signs. Make sure that when you're writing this down right now on your paper, make sure to write down all the vowels, so that you know you're doing it correctly or not. Otherwise, you just say, oh, that's what I had in my mind. It's not what you had in your mind. It's what you wrote on paper. Okay? So try that, inshallah. And take your time.
Wi-Fi numbers.
Number?
Password.
Wi-Fi? Call the CIS number. Ask. Leave a message. Who needs more time? 5. If you're done, you do number 10 as well. You do the first 5 plus number 10. Almost done? Who needs more time? Okay. Just let's start looking at it. Number one, the village is wide. Who would like to take a shot at it? Ali, go ahead. Al-qaryatu thaqilatu or tun? Tun. Thaqilatun. That would mean the village is heavy. But we're looking for wide. Somebody help me. Wasi'un. Al-qaryatu wasi'un. Wasi'atun. Good. Al-qaryatu wasi'atun. The village is wide. You read the wrong line. You had it down? MashaAllah. Good. The village is wide. Al-qaryatu wasi'atun. Number two, the earth is large. What? Al-ardu kabiratun. Good. Al-ardu kabiratun. The earth is large. Yeah. Wasi'atun. Waw. Alif. Sin. Ain. And ta marbuta. Yeah. So wasi'un becomes wasi'atun. You connect the ain with the ta marbuta. Good. Al-ardu kabiratun. Number three, the sun is fire. That's a true statement, right? Number three, who wants to try that? Yes. Do you say al-shamsu? Al-shamsu naratun. Let's focus on the first one. Al-shamsu should be ash-shamsu. You have to pronounce it correctly with the shadda. So not al-shamsu, ash-shamsu. Because lam and sheen are close together. So ash-shamsu naratun. Who wrote down naratun? Good, good. Anyone else? Who else wrote down naratun? No? Yeah, naratun? Yeah, good. I like to see people make this mistake so they never make it again in the future. It's narun, right? But you see shams, right? And you see shams is feminine. So you think that, you know what, we need to make the word nar into feminine as well. But you forgot it's already feminine. So if it wasn't feminine, then we'd add a atun at the end. But it's already feminine, because nar by definition is feminine in Arabic. So you don't need to add the atun. Okay? So just ash-shamsu narun. Because the shams is feminine and nar is feminine. So you don't need to make any adjustment. They both work fine. Okay, ash-shamsu narun. The sun is fire. Number four, the fire is weak. Now you need to make an adjustment. Right? We're using words that we learned so far. So, the fire is weak. Louder, louder. An-naru da'ifa tun. Do you say tun? Okay, I can't hear you from here. An-naru da'ifatun. Good. The fire is weak. An-naru da'ifatun. Atun because the word fire is feminine. Number five, the sign is weighty. Meaning heavy, right? The sign is weighty. Somebody volunteer. Al-ayatu thaqilatun. Good. Al-ayatu thaqilatun. And who wants to try number 10? Yes, number 10. Ad-dunya qaribatun. Right? Wal? How would you connect it together? Wa al-jannatu wal jannatu ba'idatun. Good. So ad-dunya qaribatun wal jannatu ba'idatun. All right? So that's that. One more exercise. change all of the masculine words to feminine, and then rewrite the sentence and translate it into English. This will be an interesting exercise for you. We'll do the first four. raise your fingers. How many more minutes do you need? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Verse 4. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got. Make sure you're following along to see if you got it or not. So number 1, who would like to try number 1? Go ahead. Tilka saghiratun jiddan. Why not jiddatan? Who put jiddatan? Good. Jiddan just stays jiddan. Right? Tilka saghiratun jiddan. What does that mean? That is very small. Tilka saghiratun jiddan. That is very small. Number 2. Yeah. No, it could be she. It could be she is very small as well. Yeah. It could be well. We don't know based on the context, so we don't know. Number 2. Yes. هذه جدة جديدة. لا هي, you say قريبة قديمة, right? So she said هذه جديدة لا هي قديمة. So what does that mean? Is she new? Not she. Not it. هذه. Is this new? No. هي قديمة. No, not this anymore. Here. No. It is. It is old or ancient, or she is ancient, perhaps. But otherwise, yeah, it is old. Yeah? Good. Number 3. Who would like to do number 3? Ali. هل هل تلك بعيدة لا هي قريبة. Good. هل تلك بعيدة؟ What does that mean? Is that far? لا هي قريبة. No, it is near. Good. All right. Number 4. هو مسلم ضعيف. Go ahead. هي مسلمة ضعيفة. Good. All right. So she is a weak Muslim or Muslima. Right? So here we actually applied a new rule here, in case you noticed it. But in case you didn't notice it, we'll go back and we'll learn that new rule. That is, you have an attributive adjective, and this is the attributive adjective of this object here. So go back and we're going to learn this one rule that I told you we're going to come back to. So here, when you're forming an attributive adjective or a direct adjective, and hopefully we got down the difference between a indirect and direct. Attributive adjective is direct. Predicate adjective is indirect. Okay, yeah, both describe something. So when you form an attributive or direct adjective, the gender and the state of the word, meaning where is it definite or is it indefinite, it must agree. So the gender also agrees and the state has to agree. So take a look at this one. Huwa mu'minun qawiyyun. He is a strong believer. And remember I told you the word has to be qawiyyun because mu'minun is the qawiyyun also has the So attributive adjective, direct adjective has to have the same ending here. And Here, if you want to make it feminine, you change this and you get hiya mu'minatun qawiyyatun. So if you change this mu'minun to mu'minatun, you also have to change the attributive adjective to the ta marbuta atun. So if you have mu'minatun here, you have to have qawiyyatun as well. So it agrees with gender and it agrees with state. So this is tanween here, it's indefinite. Tanween here, indefinite. So these are the two things you have to remember. Attributive adjective is very, very important. Also, if it has an al. Okay, so al-madinatu, the city. Al-kabiratu, right? Ba'idatun. So is far. The large city is far. Okay, now it doesn't matter if you look at the Arabic or you look at the English. Who can tell me where is the indirect adjective in the sentence? Far. Ba'idatun. And which one is the direct adjective? Large. How can you tell? Because the direct adjective agrees in gender and state. Now you see this? This is an adjective, right? Does it agree in gender with the thing it's describing? Al-Madina is feminine. Ba'idatun is feminine. So it agrees in gender. Does it agree in state? Is it definite or indefinite? Is the word Al-Madina definite or indefinite? Is definite. Is the word Ba'idatun definite or indefinite? Indefinite. Do they agree? No, and it's not an attributive adjective. These two, do they agree in gender? If I change the word to al-kabiru, would it agree in gender? No. Okay, so right now it agrees in gender. Does it agree in state? Is this definite? Is this definite? How do you know it's definite? Because of the al. Exactly. That's the difference between the two. And remember, when you're writing in English, you're going to put large city. Not city is large. Not large is city, which wouldn't make any sense. You don't put a gap between them. You just say the large, weird, cool, nice, distant city. These are all attributive adjectives. What about it? It's far. That's a predicative adjective, indirect adjective. Okay? So that's how that's all you need to do. So that's pretty simple, and you just did it. In the example of huwa muslimun da'ifun. Change that to feminine. Hiya muslimatun ضعيفة. Okay, how would you say she is a tall girl? Here, girl. She is a girl. How do you say she is a girl? Here, a girl. Bintun. Alright. She is a tall girl. Here, bintun طويل طويلة. Here bintun طويلة. Exactly. So that's how you add these things. So here you got two adjectives. Both adjectives you made them feminine. You took kabir and you added a atu. You took ba'id, you added a atu. Why? Because Medina is feminine. But here you had to put an al. Why did you add a al here and you didn't add a al here? This is a direct adjective. This is an indirect adjective. You leave them as is. Okay? So the bad news is that I just looked at my notes. I did not make exercises for you to practice this rule. That's the bad news. The good news is I already wrote my khutbah for tomorrow. So I'm going to come in first thing in the morning and write some exercises for you and make it mandatory as part of your homework that you actually get them done. So make sure to check Canvas tomorrow. I'll send out an announcement and you have to add that to your homework schedule. The good news. Don't look as excited as I am. Okay, inshallah. So, yes. Yes. You don't make it tun because remember, it's like water and oil. Al, al never comes with tanween. Al and tanween, they just do not mix. Alright, just keep that in mind. So whenever you see al, you know you'll never, ever, ever gonna see a tanween in your life. That's the only reason. Because al removes the tanween from the word. Alright. Alright, moving on to the next rule. Okay, let's do a little practice here. There is a practice one right here. Number 6. Do number 6 to practice this this rule. No, 4.5. Did we not do 4.5? Oh yeah. Let me see this another one. Do number 7. Oh, actually, you know what? We do have examples here. No. So, okay, so I put them in the last 3. So I did actually make the exercises. Good, so you don't have extra homework. So just do 6, 7, and 8 right now, and that'll give you enough practice on this rule. I thought I didn't. It's there. The attributive adjectives are built in. So you have to change them into feminine. Right? Change them into feminine, inshallah. That's for me. That's good. Alhamdulillah. Number 6. Is there a typo? Ma huwa? Huwa rajulun. Yes, you're right. It should be man huwa. Alright, good. Good catch. Once you're done, you can do 4.5. The first four of 4.5. Who needs more time? Just one person? Yeah. So the 6, 7, and 8, 4.4, and the first 4, 4.5. Who needs more time for that? Who still needs more time? Take 1 more minute. Okay, let's take a look at what we got. All right, we'll start with 4.5, number 1. This is the easier one, right? We just did some like that, actually. So number 1, city is large. Al-Madinatu kabiratun. Al-Madinatu kabiratun. What if you said Al-Madinatul kabiratu? What would that become? The large city. The large city, exactly. Alright, so the city is large. Al-Madinatu kabiratun. To get the is in there. Number 2, the sky is magnificent. As-sama'u azimun or azimatun. It could be both. It could be either one. Either one. Alright, good. Number 3, the tall woman. Oh, here's attributive. The tall woman is a teacher. The tall woman. Al-mar'atu tawilatu ustadatun. Al-mar'atu tawilatu. Al-tawilatu. Al-mar'atu tawilatu ustadatun. The tall woman is a teacher. Question? But we're not trying to say the teacher is tall. So the thing is, we want to translate what we're actually saying here, right? So the tall woman is a teacher. Right? Number 4, the world is small and paradise is large. The world is small. Ad-dunya saghiratun, and paradise wal jannatu kabiratun. Good. All right. Number 6. Ma huwa rajulun kabirun. Changes to ma hiya. Hiya. It shouldn't be ma. It should be man. So man huwa rajulun kabirun. Man hiya. Hiya. What does rajul change to? Hiya imra'atun kabiratun. Number 7. Who can read that first? What's there though right now? Manil waladu becomes manil bintu. So where did the kasra come from? Manil. It came from that rule where we said when 2 sukoons come in a row, the first sukoon becomes a kasra. So manil bintu hiya talibatun mu'minatun. Good. Manil bintu hiya talibatun mu'minatun. Number 8. Ahuwa ustadhun? La, huwa talibun jadidun. Change that to feminine. Hiya ustadhatun? La, hiya talibatun jadidatun. Good. All right. Good so far. Let's move on. We're going to learn about prepositions. All right. Who's ever heard of a preposition before? All right. So less than half the class.
Probably raised in California. Alright, so a preposition basically describes a relationship between other words in a sentence. That's what a preposition does. And it usually identifies the time or the place of something. Alright? Now, did anyone memorize the prepositions in school, high school, middle school? You memorize it? Memorize it? You still got it down? Come on, man. Did you memorize it in a song form? I had to do it in a song form. Nobody knows the preposition song? About, aboard, above, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, at, atop, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but, by, concerning, done, except for, from. No one remembers the song? Okay. I guess it's only me. We learned that in 8th grade. I guess my teacher won Teacher of the Year, so for a reason. A preposition is all these words. About, aboard, above, across. Time, usually time or place. Right? Beside, between, beyond, but, by, concerning, down, during, except for, from, in, inside, inside, into, like, near, of, off, on, onto, out, outside, over, past, regarding, since, through, throughout, through, toward, under, underneath, until, up, upon, with, within, without. These are all prepositions that talk about time or the place of something. Right? So usually, but not always, it can also modify another concept. So prepositions are loose. We're only going to learn 3 today, and the 3 are talking about the time or place of something. Okay? So what does a preposition do? Let's just take a look at some of them. We're going to learn 3. We're going to learn in, which is fi. This should be on, which is ala. And min is from. So how's the translation going to step up here? Okay, so no one got that. We had a proofreader too, but that's okay. This should be in, this should be on, and this should be from. All right. So what does a preposition do? It causes the noun to change from taking a dhamma to taking a kasra. So let me show you how it works. Look at this word, jannatun. Jannatun means a garden. A garden. What does al-jannatu mean? The garden or paradise. Right? So jannatun means a garden. So if you write fi before the word jannatun, what happens is now you have the meaning of in a garden. But look what happens to the word. You had jannatun, and because of this fi, now it becomes in. Instead of un, it becomes in. So you get fi jannatin. So if you had the word madinatun, what does madinatun mean? A city. Fi madinatin means in a city. All right. What's another word we learned? River. Nahrun. What does nahrun mean? A river. Fi nahrin. In a river. Got it? All right. And if it had an al, right? You had al-jannatu, it changes to fi al-jannati. So if it had a tanween, it stays tanween. If it had no tanween, it doesn't say tanween, but the dhamma turns into a kasra. That's what the preposition does. We're going to learn that rule in a moment. So you do say fil jannati, but when I teach you the rule, then we'll go back. All right. So for now, fi al jannati. Okay. All right. Baytun, a house. Ala means on. It means on. Ala baytin, on a house. Okay. How do you say on a mosque? Ala masjidin. Good. And then here, ala al-bayti, on the house. How do you say on the masjid? Ala al-masjidi. Good. And then you have masjidun. Min means from. Min masjidin, from a mosque. Min rajulin, from a man. Min bintin, from a girl. Right? And then you have min al-masjidi, from the mosque. Min al-binti, from the girl. Now there's 3 other things you have to notice here. Is that when you have these three prepositions here, because there's a al, and the al has a wasla here, right? This is a wasla. You actually, when you're reading it connected, you're going to skip over some stuff like we've been seeing before. But what's going to happen is you're going to pronounce fi al-jannati short. So you're going to pronounce this fil jannati. All right? Actually, I have a slide for it. There we go. All right? So you're going to pronounce fi al-bayti. You're still going to write it fi al-bayti. But how are you going to pronounce it when you're reading? As if the ya is not there. Fil bayti. Fil bayti. Even don't even worry about the alif. You could even remove that. Fil bayti. That's how you're going to pronounce it. But in writing, it stays this way. Fil bayti. Fil masjidi. Fin nahri. And you still have to make the connection with the shadda, right? Fil or fin, whatever it is. Here, same thing. Ala al-bayti becomes alal bayti. Alal bayti. So you can't even hear the long vowel anymore when you're pronouncing it. This is you never write it this way though. You pronounce it when you're saying it. Okay, so alal bayti, alal masjidi, alal jannati, alal kitabi. That's how you're gonna pronounce it. When it comes to the min al-masjidi, you see a sukoon here and a sukoon here, and we said that usually when two sukoons come together, the first sukoon becomes kasra, and this is the one exception to the rule where it becomes a fatha instead. Why is it an exception? Because if you said minil masjidi, it's just too weird for the Arabs to pronounce on their tongue, so they made it into minal masjidi. Right? So you get minal masjidi, minal bayti, minal rajuli, minal binti, minal mar'ati. You just add a fatha here, and this is in pronunciation as well as in writing. So when you're writing it, you're actually going to write out a fatha instead of a sukoon. Sometimes people, they put a sukoon and a fatha on top, just to show you that it was the word min and then there's a fatha there. But that's not very common. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put a fatha when you're writing it out, whenever it needs to be there. But what if you took away the al? What do you get? Min masjidin. So the sukoon remains. Okay? So that's just for pronunciation. Min al-mu'mini. Yes, min al-mu'mini. Okay? That's it. And so when you're forming sentences, remember that prepositions do not affect the words that precede them. Okay? They only affect the words that come after. So don't get confused and say, oh, I wonder what this preposition has done to the previous word. You don't need to worry about the previous word, only the words that come right after it. So take a look at some examples. Hal Muhammadun fil masjidi. Is Muhammad in the mosque? You don't need to worry about, well, what if Muhammadun changed to Muhammadin? It can't, because the preposition came after. If this preposition was put before Muhammad, guess what would happen to Muhammad? Muhammadin. Right? But it's not. It comes after. So this one is only going to modify and change what comes after it. Right? So, Hal Muhammadun fil masjidi. Is Muhammad in the mosque? That's how you make a sentence, right? How would you say, is the girl in the mosque? Is the girl. Halil bintu? Bintu or binti? So is this can this preposition work on anything before it? No. So Halil bintu. We haven't even heard a preposition so far. Now fi. Now we got to worry about what happens. Halil bintu fil masjidi. Is the girl in the house? Halil bintu fil bayti. Good. And then here's another sentence. Maryamu fi jannatin wa khadijatu fil madinati. So the wow breaks it up. So this fi is not going to work on the Khadija because the wow makes it into two sentences. If you look carefully, these are two sentences strung together. Maryamu fi jannatin. You know what? And I'm giving another sentence. Khadijatu fil madinati. So when you're breaking down the grammar, break it down separately. Don't think that the fi can have any effect on Khadija. Why? Because the wa caused it to split up. So Maryamu fi jannatin, we got that sentence. Khadijatu fil madinati, we got that sentence. Throw a wa in between and you just get an end. So Maryamu fi jannatin wa Khadijatu fil madinati. Maryam is in a garden and Khadija is in the city. Here's an example of how fi works on tanween, keeps the tanween. Fi works on an al word and it keeps the kasra. There's no tanween. We got that?
When there's a kasra, there's no tanween.
When there's a?
When there's a kasra, there's I don't understand how the kasra.
No, the kasra has nothing to do with it. If there was a tanween on the word, there's supposed to be a tanween, the tanween stays. If there's not supposed to be a tanween on the word, there's no tanween. That's it. Okay? So that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at some exercises. We're going to pray in just 3 minutes. Oh, we got some more things to do. Okay. So we'll break here and we'll come back inshallah after Isha. Remember, we come back right after Isha and we'll continue. And in the meantime, you can start memorizing all the prepositions in the English language, inshallah. Just kidding. Assalamu alaikum.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر
you're like 12, 13, you have like, you have a type of relationship right now. Relationship at 13, that's funny. This girl I mean went out just for nutrition. She got a boyfriend, gave him nutrition, and she broke up with him at after nutrition. I'm like, that was fast. And then she even had the time to post a picture like, hey, I love you so much. And I'm like, wait, what? It's like high school relationships, sometimes they work out. Like your senior, you're over in college and stuff. That's okay. I had one teacher, but he found his teacher. He went out with his wife to take a picture. That's a cute love story, you know? That's really rare. So we speed it up. It's like something sometimes I just go, I've known this person for a long time and I never got to experience it. But I was having my friend, she's like getting started and then the other place she is good. I think next to so you know what we can speak about later is like this when you was talking about the guy that's like speaking about like 30 years from now, oh my god, what is supposed to happen? I can't handle this. I'm like 14, you know? And the guys are not sure yet. Let's move in together. He drops the bomb. You know, I was always like, he knows that we're going to get discussions about it.
Okay. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, wa ba'd. So, let's continue. Attributive adjective gender agreement. So we kind of got the attributive adjective and we understand what it is now, hopefully. Remember that an attributive adjective or the direct adjective must agree in the gender and the state. We just covered that, right? Like less than an hour ago. Attributive adjective needs to have the same gender as well as the same state. So if it has an al, the other thing also has an al. The adjective has an al if the other thing has an al. We learn a new rule now. The attributive adjective also needs to agree in case. Case means the vowel ending. Alright? So let me show you what that means. So this one we saw, hiya madinatun kabiratun. It is a large city. Direct attributive adjective, right? Where's the attributive adjective? Is it here? Is it madinatun? It's kabiratun, right? Kabiratun, direct attributive adjective. It is a large city. Does it agree in gender with the thing? What is it modifying? Madinatun. It's modifying the word Madina. Does it agree in gender? Feminine and feminine, yes. Does it agree in state? Indefinite? Indefinite, yes. Now we learn something that attributive adjectives always end in the same case, the vowel ending. We've seen that so far. So we saw has to be meaning dhamma, dhamma. Now what we're going to learn is, if you change one of these to a kasra or something else, the attributive adjectives will also change. So look at this sentence. Hiya min madinatin. She is from a city. And if you wanted to say she is from a large city, hiya min madinatin kabiratin. So the word kabira does not stay kabiratun. It also becomes kabiratin. And if somebody asks you, well, why is this kabiratin instead of kabiratun? Your answer needs to be because it's a direct adjective to this word. And because this word has in, this also has to have in. It's like a clone. It has to copy. The attributive adjectives has to copy the words that they're modifying. So if you see madinatin, it becomes kabiratin. If you see madinatun, it becomes kabiratun. If you see madinatan, what do you think it becomes? Kabiratan. That's it. That's just the way it is. They end up rhyming. Not always, but most of the time. So yeah, basically it needs to rhyme for now. Okay? So hiya min madinatin kabiratin. Right? What if we said he is from a small city? Huwa min madinatin, small. Saghiratin. Huwa min madinatin saghiratin. He is from a large river. Huwa min nahrun. Huwa min nahrun. Huwa min nahrin. Large. We say large or small? Large. Huwa min nahrin kabiratin. Kabirin. Because nahr is not feminine. Nahrin, kabirin. It just comes with practice, you'll get it down. In the beginning, you're going to struggle a little bit with it. Huwa min nahrin kabirin. Alright? Good. So that's the way it works. Madinatin, kabiratin. Agrees in case also. Agrees in gender, agrees in state, agrees in case. If you remember when you were doing mathematics, and hopefully someone studied mathematics. I just saw no expressions in the room here. So remember when you're studying algebra? Who studied algebra in school? Okay, so that's why CIS, it's designed for adults. Because if I had like little kids in my class, like all the parents, they keep asking me, can we bring our 7-year-old? And I say no, because I can't ask this question. So who studied algebra? Okay, so what did you do? What did the teacher tell you after you write the answer? What did they tell you to do? Check your homework, right? Check it. Now, how do you check it? Just by looking at it? No, there's certain ways to check it, right? So there's the way to check if you got the adjectives down. You follow this rule. So you look and you say, hiya min madinatin kabiratin. Okay, let's look at our rule. This is an attributive adjective. Check number 1. Does it agree in gender? Does it agree in gender? Madinatin kabiratin, yes. Does it agree in state? Indefinite or definite? Indefinite? Indefinite. Yes, it agrees. Does it agree in case? Vowel ending. In and in. Okay, this one is correct. But we just saw someone say, huwa min nahrin kabiratin. Okay, so now apply the same check. Nahrin kabiratin. So check number 1. Does the gender work? Nahrin kabiratin? No, so it's a mistake. What about state? Nahrin kabiratin. Is state correct? Yes, it is. Indefinite. Nahrin kabiratin. They're both indefinite. So this check is fine. Same case. Nahrin kabiratin. In and in. That's correct. So the gender was the only mistake. Sometimes you'll make 2. So go back and double check your work once you've done it every time. is going to help you in the beginning right now. And many people, even the more intermediate students, they need to go back and double check their work. Even when you're writing an essay, students go back and what? They check their, pronunciation, spelling, and everything. I was looking back recently at my first year, thesis, first year, research article that I wrote. It's on wiping over socks, very common issue. So I wrote like a 15-page paper in Arabic. It was my first year, in France. And I look back and I'm like, if I would have just properly proofread this paper, if I looked at it now, some of the Arabic grammar mistakes are just ridiculous. You should not be making them. You just look back and you keep on learning. You have to make sure to double check your work. Okay. هي مدينة كبيرة. هي من مدينة كبيرة. Last one. الطالب الجديد. What does الطالب الجديد mean? Don't look at the translation. The student new. Okay, that's correct. Close to being correct. The new student. Remember, in English it's flipped around. The new student في المسجد الصغير البعيد. Is in the small far mosque. Right? Exactly. Is in the small far mosque. So now we just do the same check again. Look what's happening here. Check number 1. Check the attributive adjectives for gender. So where are the attributive adjectives, first of all? In this sentence, where are all the attributive adjectives? How many are there? Who says 1? Raise your hand. Who says 2? Raise your hand. Who says 3? Raise your hand. Who says 4? Raise your hand. Who says 5? So we have a variety from 1 to 4. Who's saying 4? 4. Okay. 4. Where's 4? Where's number 1? Al-Jadidu is number 1. What's number 2? Saghiru. Where's number 3? Ba'idu. Where's number 4? Talib. Is Talib an adjective? Not really. It can be, but in this position it's not. Right now it's the subject of the sentence. So it's in this position it's not. So we actually have 3 attributive adjectives here. Al-Jadidu is modifying which word? Al-Talibu. Al-Saghiru is modifying Al-Masjidu. Al-Ba'idu is modifying Al-Masjidu. Good. So 3 attributive adjectives. We gotta go and do our check. Does this one agree in gender with what it's modifying? Jadid, masculine. Talib, masculine. Good. Does it agree in state? Has an al? Has an al. They're both definite. Good. Agrees in case. It has a u? It has a u. We're good. This one is fine. Let's take a look at this one. As-Saghir. Does it agree in gender? It's masculine. Masjid is masculine. So it agrees. Good. Number 2. State. Is it definite? Yes, because it has al. Does this one have al? Yes, it does. Does it agree in case? Kasra? Yes. Kasra? Yes. Good. What about this one? It agrees in the kasra, it agrees in the al, and it agrees in the gender. Masculine. Masculine and masculine. Always do this check. This is the most common mistake among beginner Arabic students. Always go back and do this check. With all 3, say, no, I'm going to go and double check. Number 1, does it agree in, is the vowel agreed? Is the gender agreed? And is the al or no al agreed or not? It's actually not al or no al, it's definite or indefinite. Like the word Muhammad is definite, but there's no al in Muhammad, right? But Muhammadun has a tanween, but it's definite. So if you were going to say Muhammad the Great, we're not going to learn this right now, but just as a test to make sure you got it. How would you say Muhammad the Great? The Great Muhammad. The Great Muhammad. You would say Muhammadun al-Azimu or al-Kabiru. So you have to put al. We say, well, it's not. It has to rhyme, like Ahmed was saying. Is it always rhyme? No. Muhammadun al-Kabiru. Muhammadun al-Azim. There's a un and there's a u. It doesn't rhyme, but they're both definite. The Muhammadun has tanween, but it's a proper noun. It's a name, so it has to be definite. Got it? Prepositions can affect proper nouns as well, yes. We're going to see that in the next chapter. So, alright? So, we got الطالب الجديد في المسجد الصغير البعيد. How about we do this? We change this last sentence right here to feminine. Who can do that? الطالبة الجديدة في المسجد الصغير. No, I'm just kidding. You can't. You don't make masjid into feminine. It stays the way it is. Okay. Good. Let's take a look at what we have here. 4.6. Let's get started on this. Read the sentences, rewrite them with the vowels, and translate. Let's do the first 4, inshallah. First four, yeah. Who needs more time? Okay. Those who are done can get a head start. The next four. Okay, let's pause and take a look at our first four. So number one, Maryamu fil Madinati. Maryam is in the city. Number two, a Khadijatu fi masjidin. Accidentally got put there for you. Is Khadija in a mosque? Not the mosque, a mosque. Good. Number three, Muhammadun alal jabali. Muhammadun alal jabali. Muhammad is on the mountain. Number four, huwa finnari wa hiya fil jannati. He is in the fire and she is in the garden or in paradise. Yes. Ah, okay. So where's the hu? So huwa finnar. Huwa refers to he. Oh, because of the fire. Yeah, yeah. No, who is not connected to the fire at all. Okay. Because of fi. So the finnar, the fact that he's in the fire does not connect. It has nothing to do with that. So he is a different person, and the fire is a different thing. Yeah. I thought you were going to complain about the gender bias in this answer here. Okay. Yes, okay. Alhamdulillah. Any other brothers who can complain about that, inshallah. So that's the first four. So let's do the next four, inshallah, at 4.7. Note the emphasis on the number 7 in 4.7. And if you finish the first four, then do number 8. And that'll probably be the longest Arabic sentence you've ever done in your life, up until now. Difference between imra'atun and al-mar'atu. Al-mar'atu is the definite, the woman. Imra'atun is a woman. Before I forget, so one of our Arabic TAs is willing to offer a review session for all the stuff we've learned so far. For anyone who would like to kind of go over the stuff again, another classroom environment. Is anyone interested in attending the extra session? Just raise your hand if you're just, okay, good. So we're going to be sending out an email. Hopefully you're on Canvas and you're getting the Canvas announcements and emails and everything. In case you don't get it and you're interested, email us, inshallah. It's going to be taking place this coming week. And she's also going to do another final review exam right before the final exam. So you probably want to take that as well, inshallah. Second thing is, tomorrow there's a debate right here at IAOC. Who knows about the debate already? That's it? SubhanAllah. Okay. No one's on our mailing list or something? Okay, so there's a debate. It's called When is Marriage a Crime? It's between two lawyers. One is our student, Ahmed Sheikh here, and the other one is Todd Gallinger. I'm going to be moderating the debate, and it's going to be around issues talking about nikah and registering your marriage. Is it required in America? Should Muslims be doing it? And also the big topic of polygamy. And that is, should Muslims be advocating for the legalization of polygamy in the United States of America or not? So it's going to be a very interesting, heated, perhaps bloody debate right here, inshallah. So I really recommend you come. It's going to be right after Maghrib prayer, and it's going to be for about an hour, hour and a half, and there'll be time for Q&A, inshallah. Let your friends know, and I would definitely, try to come early to grab a seat. So this is going to be a pretty big event, inshallah. After Maghrib, inshallah. 7:45 we should be starting. Who needs more time for these first four? Okay, just give it another minute, inshallah. Okay, let's take a look. Number one, the pen is on the book. Al-qalamu ala al-kitabi. Yeah, al-qalamu ala al-kitabi. Number two, the sign is in the sky. Al-ayatu fis samai. Fis samai. Number three, the young woman is in the small garden. Al-mar'atu as-saghiratu fil jannati as-saghirati. Al-mar'atu as-saghiratu fil jannati as-saghirati. Number four, the Muslim teacher is in the house. Al-ustadhul muslimu fil bayti. Fil bayti. Good. And number eight, who can do number eight without any mistakes? And they will get this organic blueberry fig bar that I have left over here. It's organic. Who wants a hand? Want to try it? All right, go ahead. Bismillah. Okay, Bismillah. It's from Mother's Market. It's expensive fig bar. Okay, go ahead. I can't hear you. Speak louder. Did you write it down or you didn't?
I did write it down. I saw
Oh, okay, okay. It's all right. Someone in our class, yes. هل المؤمن القوي في النار والكافر في الجنة؟ لا. المؤمن في الجنة والكافر في النار. The dentist gets the blueberry, mashallah, the blueberry fig bar, inshallah. Very good. This is healthy, right? It's not bad for your teeth, right? It's not too bad. All right, alhamdulillah. So good, inshallah. Do your homework. Make sure you're checking your homework in. We've changed the homework policy though. So for those of you who are submitting late homework or you didn't make it in time for some reason, we will accept late homework at 20% off. You lose 20 points, or you lose 20% of the homework, but it's still acceptable. So if you didn't make the deadline, you say, oh, I had to travel, I couldn't do it. Don't get lazy, don't skip your homework. Do it anyways and turn it in and make sure you get your homework done, inshallah ta'ala.
Chairs and tables.
Yeah, help with the chairs and tables, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, it might. It might.
Which number to call? What is the number for the CIS?
Huh?
It says number. I don't.
Go on the website.
Go on the website.
It's on the website.
Oh, I didn't really want your cancer wrapped in paper.
No, not this time. Yeah, this time.
I noticed that you put the word reading right the same day. Is there any way to access that so I can find work ahead?
I put it 24 hours in advance.
I checked it last night, it wasn't there.
Really?
The only time I found it was this morning.
You know what? Someone probably forgot to enable it. Because you have to enable it after you upload it, they probably just forgot. So yeah, it's supposed to be there 24 hours in advance. Good job. Yeah. Got it? Good. All right, mom.
Say what? You forget it. No, I think I could have got that last one.
You gotta really practice it.
Huh?
If you don't practice it, you forget it.